Hello everyone, it's Kiki Halbert here today. I wanted to go through some layouts that I've done in recent months, and it's been a while since I posted my last flip through, so I thought you might enjoy it. And if you haven't been here before, please feel free to like and subscribe the video if you enjoyed it. And hopefully you'll learn a thing or two along the way as I discuss how I did some of these layouts. And let me know if you have any questions about them in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. And also, feel free to scrap lift any of them. And if you do, please let me know in the comments that you did so. I'd really like to check them out. So first off, I thought I would show you, this is a mixed media piece that I had done using some Creative Embellishments chipboard. And also I used a hexagon panel, wood panel that I had for a while, and I wasn't quite sure how I was going to do it. So I decided to do a pretty layout of my two cats. I recently had lost Pantouf, my oldest cat, and so I wanted to make something that would hang somewhere in my craft room and remind me of her. So as I said, I had done this with some chipboard. I embellished and colored the canvas hexagon on the bottom and decorated it with a lot of Prima goodies. One thing I really enjoyed doing with this particular layout was this ombre effect with the chipboard, and that was done using 3 different colors of Heidi Swap Color Shine spray, and it turned out wonderfully. I was really pleased with it. So yeah, so there's lots of little goodies on there, so I really enjoy that piece. That's one of my favorite pieces lately. All right, now let me get to the layouts for you. So as I said, I had lost Pantouf. She crossed over the Rainbow Bridge, and so I decided to do some nice pages. I had done this one of her before she died, but I just wanted to share it as well. So this was a lovely piece. This is using, I believe I got these pieces in my Scrapbook and Cards Today sampler of the month. And it came, the focus for the sampler of the month that month was, I believe, Floral Market by Cartabella. So I used quite a bit of it, and what I did to make it very different is I used again my stitched hexagon die cut that I have from Close to My Heart, and if you're interested in that, I'll post it underneath in the description box. And I decided to do some mixed media work on the background. So there's quite a bit of, there's gold and there is pink, and I smushed it kind of. So I don't know if you can see all of that. The gold's not coming out very well, but anyhow, it looks very shiny in person. And with the hexagon die kit, you get 3 different sizes of the hexagons. And so I stuck with 2 sizes and made my own little cluster up here with some different ones. The paper as well, that is sort of book paper, I edged in pink just to get it to stand off the page a little bit more. I really love this page, and I have it up on my bookcase, or actually on my mantle right now, until I have something a little more permanent to remember Pantouf by. So yeah, it was a lot of fun to do. This one as well, same picture, but done a while back, and I don't think I ever shared it. So I did this for a White Plus One challenge over at Cooking with Creations, or Cooking Up Creations, and so this was my example that I had done just to kind of, I guess, show, you know, that you can do peach and things and just kind of do it very differently. This is one particular stencil that's in the background. I wasn't sure if I shared that. If I have before, please forgive me, but I thought I would add that in there as well, just to make sure. This was a challenge that I had done for CSI scrapbooking challenges, and the prompt was very antique-y, I guess you could say. They had crowns, they had jars and old text and things as one of their mood boards. If I find the mood board, I'll try to post it up in the corner up here, and that way you'll be able to see how I did. But I took a picture of my mother and her sisters when my mom was young. And it was actually printed on black and white. And what I did is I used vintage photo and just kind of sepia'd the photo. I used a lot of Prima everywhere because I had a lot of Prima from this particular collection that was, it was from eons ago. And a lot of the design, the papers and things are from Finnabair. So you might recognize her style there. So yeah, that's what I decided to do with these particular embellishments. And it was a lot of fun to do. It was a lot of fun to create. I used a lot of rub-ons as well to add words on there. Next up, I have a layout of my in-laws. This was a layout that I had done for a challenge, again, at Cooking Up Creations. And this was to demonstrate how we could use brads in different ways. And so what I did is I used brads to thread through the buttons. I used brads to create a little butterfly, including the little antenna. I used brads over here as well. So I used a variety of brads and some puffy stickers and just a lot of mixed media work in the background just to match the papers. And I really loved how it turned out. I'm saying that a lot, aren't I? Another challenge. This one was for, let me see now. Can't remember which challenge it was, but I did do it for a challenge. So I believe that this was also a challenge for for Cooking Up Creations. I swear I'll get that right next time. I used some different word rub-ons as well to add instead of splatters because the background was created by me using cups, and that was the challenge, was to use something round, but not your typical kind of round things. So I did that. This was a photo that's actually untouched. My husband and I visited this beautiful community down just south of where we live called Stevestown. That's where a lot of Once Upon a Time is filmed. And this is a bay that's right there. And this crane happened to be standing there while we were watching the sunset, and it just turned out perfectly. So I love how that ended up. Next up, we have another hexagon layout. I love my hexagons. What can I say? This one, I decided to do hexagons using photos. So, you know, you don't have to be strictly stuck with using it on papers. I used it on photos to layer them together and just give some interest to the page. Really enjoyed this one. This was a trip that my husband and I took to visit his parents. And I used a lot of scraps actually for this one. I had a Simple Stories collection where I had scraps from, many years ago. This fall kit came out, probably close to 2015, maybe 2014. I used a lot of the little cork embellishments from Close to My Heart as little accents. Some Prima that's there. I just, this was a lot of fun to create, so I hope you enjoy it. This was also created using a kit from Vicky Booten, Storyteller. I got some of this as part of the Scrapbook and Cards Today sampler, and some of it I got from Scrapbooking Your Joy, and it's just such a lovely kit to play with, especially if you love art journaling and you want to do some layouts that look like you've done mixed media on it, but you know, want to put them together quickly. This particular part of the paper here was from, there's a large paper that has a rainbow of all kinds of different photo stripes or paper stripes, and I just cut out the parts that I wanted, did some overlaying. These are the ephemera that come with it. I love this vellum tag with the gold. It's just amazing. And I like mixing metals, so I added some of my silver stars that I got from Creative Embellishments. And it's just, it's a stunning photo. I thought I needed to take some, do some layouts of Whiskey as well. So this is our younger cat who is named Whiskey because sometimes he drives us to drink. He's a little bit crazy, but we love him all the same. And I love all the little puffy stickers that come with the Storyteller collection. They're puffy stickers, but instead of being glossy, they're matte. And I love that. And the same as the word sticker here. This was an 8.5 by 11 that I decided to do of my pooch, Nanook, and I decided to just do something kind of fun and whimsical. I stenciled on the background through a stencil that I got from one of the samplers again. This was probably sampler that I got as well that I just kind of scruffed up. I love the look of ripped layers, and so I put all that in. And yeah, it was a lot of fun to do. I love these puffy words in gold. They're just gorgeous. Again, splattered with some Heidi Swap shine. And then I believe that this is actually Lindy's spray. So it was a lot of fun to just kind of play around and get some good photos of my Nanook on that one. So you can see on the stencils, I've actually got, like I did kind of an ombre. I stenciled with some green. I believe the green is kind of like an old paper, and then some vintage photo as well. Then I've got another layout. This was a photo. These are photos from a walk that we took many years ago now. This was a kind of rainy day in Gatineau Park. And my husband and I were just trying to pass some time. We were enjoying ourselves, and then came home to find that he had received his permanent residency card. So we were really thrilled by that. I love the little squirrel. He's just adorable. I loved all the ephemera in this. This is, I believe, from Days of Splendor from the ephemera. And just amazing. Such a fun kit to play with. If you ever get a chance to get it, a lot of it is sold out in most stores, but you may be able to still find some. It's a lovely kit and collection to play with. Then again, so here's another Simple Stories autumn kit that I had some leftovers of, I believe. Or perhaps not. No, this might be one of the newer collections, just because of the hedgehog. I know that the hedgehogs have been very popular. This is my niece and nephew when they were younger, and again, Gatineau Park, and we were just enjoying ourselves on a simple walk with the kids, and we just really enjoyed our time together. So I love this photo of Liam with his big stick. He just loved carrying around that big stick. It was almost bigger than he was. So just a fun time to be scrapbooked. And I've turned my scrapbooking around to look more at not just documenting times with my husband, but actually documenting walks, documenting trips, camp trips, family trips, and really scrapbooking my memories, not just with him, but memories with my family. And so that's been a big deal for me. And so I thought I'd start with some of my favorite photos. This particular layout was done using the Hip Kit Club for, let me think now, September or October, one of the two. We had been out for a nice walk. We've been quarantined for so long, and it was just such a stunning day. So we decided to go walking. I took my husband up to this neighborhood that we had never been in together. I had driven through it, and I was determined to show him. So yeah, so we grabbed the Hit Kit Club, and I created the wreath from some die cuts, added some of the lovely stickers, again, gold stickers from Days of Splendor, and just did that layout. I don't think that I created a scrapbook process layout from this one, but yeah, I love this one. I love all the bright colors against the muted, darker backgrounds. And this is another layout using some of, I believe this one is, oh, is it? It's not Cartabella, I don't think, but this was using a sampler. And I did do a layout video of this particular layout. So you can see how I did these doilies, these circles, and how they're created. Just so much fun. I had originally done a lot of stenciling on this underneath here because I was thinking that I would have most of the interest on this side, and in the end I just liked having the photo just slightly off center there. Just a lot of fun, a lot of creativity. Love all the colors, but they're mostly manly and they match my husband's outfit, so just really thrilled with this particular layout. This one was kind of a fun challenge. So I had seen so many of the grid layouts, and I decided that I would create my own sort of sketch and do a grid layout on an angle. And so that's what I did. These are 3 4x6 photos, so don't be afraid to use those in your layouts for sure. And this particular one, again, comes from a sampler that I got. So that's why you'll see the papers are smaller, especially like, you know, when you have 6x6 papers, this is a really good way to get them to go a long way. I used some of the papers to actually mat the photos. Did some layering. Now the stickers I'm sure are from a sticker book, maybe that's Simple Stories. And the stickers were actually very, they're not cardstock stickers, they're just regular stickers, and I wanted to actually have something with a little bit more oomph in them. So what I did, I don't know if you can see, but you might be able to see from the squirrel. Okay, so you see the lovely little lady squirrel down there. I actually took the stickers, mounted them onto cardstock, and used some glossy accents to firm them up to make them more like cardstock. And see, this little guy here is a cardstock die cut, but the stickers were quite thin paper. So what I did is I decided that I would put them onto cardstock, fussy cut them out. I'm getting a little bit more proficient in fussy cutting, and then I would use glossy accents to give them some shine, like stickers and cardstock stickers sometimes. So I love how that turned out. I loved using all the different golds and the cork lettering. I've had that forever, and it's nice to be able to bash some of my stash. I also used some Nouveau dots to accent around the page as well. So just a lot of fun to put it all on an angle. It just kind of changes the direction of the photo. I just really enjoyed doing this one, and I'm really glad that I kind of decided to create my own sketch for it. I'll probably redo that one again in the future. And then here I have, so again, I'm talking about photos that are historic, the older ones, but my husband and I took a trip to Quebec City, and during that trip, we had a lot of fun. It was the first time he had been to Quebec City, and if you've ever been there, it's very much like taking a trip to old Europe or olden times. And we had a day where it was very hot and humid. That particular vacation, there were lots of tornadoes that were west of us, I should say, toward Montreal and Ottawa. And we got a lot of rain consequently from those storms. And we decided this particular day to visit a museum that we hadn't visited before. And it was really interesting. It was more of a curation of old items that were found in Quebec City back in the 1600s or 1700s, and just very, very interesting. And then down in the basement, we found an area where they have a variety of costumes that you could try on and take photos of yourself in. It was just hilarious. So my husband, being the man he is, he decided to try on gentleman's wear, which completely suited him. And if you see the photo up here in the corner, he's just completely, you know, the gentleman, very proud, and so I thought that was hilarious. Of course, the dresses I wanted to try on were way too small. Women had extremely tiny waists back then, but I did find enough of a dress that I could dress up as a kitchen maid, and so it was just kind of funny. We just were horsing around. What I did for the background, this is the paper that I created myself, and the stonework here was all sort of cream and dark browns and blacks. And so I decided to replicate that for the background. I knew that I had a stencil that had bricks or brickwork. And so I pulled out some of my distress inks that matched the colors and decided to do the background with all the variety of colors I outlined in ink. Did some twine work here down at the bottom. I really enjoy the quote that is on this particular charm, I guess you could say. I don't know if you can read it. Let's see. There we go. Okay. Reality is limited, has limits. Imagination is boundless. And the dream word came from the sampler as well, from Scrapbooking and Cards Today's sampler. If you're interested in seeing that, I will link up to how you can subscribe to that. It's a monthly kit where you get to try out a variety of new items that are on the market. Well worth the money for sure. And I did again the ombre effect on the chipboard, which came from Creative Embellishments, and added some Prima flowers to round off the page. And then last but not least, I did a sampler page. This was another sampler that came SCT sampler, excuse me. And so I decided to do just a quadrant layout like this. I used some of the embellishments that they provided. I also had some other embellishments left over from different things. I decided to also splatter with a shimmer brush pen in from close to my heart that is called Bluebell. And then I also used Nuvo dots for some little glitter dots in various areas, as well as some liquid pearls in Ballerina, I believe it's called. Just a lot of fun to create this. I love this photo of me and my dog. I have pajamas all day up here because it was me coming, when I came home that day, I just wanted to cuddle with my dog and be in my pajamas and watch TV. So that's what we did. Got a great photo from it. And yeah, so I decided to scrapbook it because he's a cutie. So that's what I have for you today, folks. I really appreciate you being here and watching my videos. I wanted to let you know that there's something special coming up in the month of January. Some ladies and I have created a new YouTube hop called Scrapbooking from the Heart, or Scrapbook from the Heart. And there will be monthly prompts that we will put into the description boxes for each month. To let you know what we're working on. It is a hop that is designed to get you to think about emotions and thinking while you're creating, not just creating documentation of memories, but really giving some thought to the photos and the meanings behind what you used. So I'm going to be doing that with some lovely talented ladies, and I hope that you'll watch for that in the future. And again, if you've never been here before, please subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed watching these layouts. For many of them, I do have layout videos, scrapbook layout videos showing the techniques that I've used, and I hope that you'll learn a step or two or a trick or two through the videos. I will link you up to the video playlist right up here, and you can actually go and click on there and find some of the layouts that I've done through videos. And thanks again for being here. I hope that you have a wonderful end of the year period. That's what I'm going to call it because I don't want to jinx anything. And I hope that you're enjoying the time with your family, with your friends, and scrapbooking the memories that you're making during this really different time in our lives. So thanks again for being here. I really appreciate your support. Please give me a thumbs up if you liked the video, and we'll see you very soon in the future. Bye for now.